Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Dead Pundits Society. Today is a quick reaction video from myself and Pablo following a huge, potentially title deciding weekend in the Premier League. We're here to talk about the Arsenal and City game and what was touted and slated to be the biggest game of the year. Um, so, do you have any initial reactions to the game? Anything you want to say, Pablo?
Yeah, so as someone that doesn't really follow the Premier League that much, it was interesting to see the build up. It was really billed as this great game, and I think it in some ways it didn't really disappoint. It was quite a good game. I think honestly, Arsenal probably feel quite hard done by after the game's ended because I think they did have some really good chances, but obviously, City took the lead early with that amazing Ryan Cherky goal where he just like went
Incredible.
past like two or three guys who were doing
Messi-esque.
like all those skills. Then
Yeah.
Donnarumma chucked one into his own goal, which was not ideal. And then Haaland's so that was a really good goal from Haaland, I think, for the 2-1 as well. Like not that many people are talking about it, but the way that he just puts it right in the bottom corner, really outside of Raya's reach is great. But I think people are saying that whoever wins this match will go on to win the league. And now City have the chance to go level on points. I think they're playing Burnley today or tomorrow at the time of recording. And it will be interesting to see how it shakes out. I mean, it seems that in my opinion, both teams have the possibility to win their remaining games. But when it comes to scoring goals, I think no one does that quite as well as Man City. So I'll definitely say that they're in the uh, they're at an advantage here. But we'll see. What are your first thoughts of that game?
Yeah, I feel like there's so much to cover here, you know? This was like the week, the game for the Premier League for me. So it's hard to choose even where to start, but I guess I'll start with the game itself. Before we get into any comments, maybe about either of the teams, I will say, to be fair, one thing I really liked about this game was that both teams went for it, you know. They both showed up. They went for the win, went for the game. I think Arsenal, I'm gonna be honest, I expected them to show up and play for a draw just based off of, past performances, the way they've acted, the position that they're in. But you know what? This is maybe the only compliment I'll give to Arsenal. Fair play. They went out there swinging. They went out there clearly wanting to get a win to, um, stamp on Man City in this title race. And it's exactly what you want to see in a match between clubs in the top six, right? This is exactly the type of football and the type of desire you want to see, especially for title contenders. It almost reminded me of if you remember, of around, gosh, it feels so not long ago, but it turns out it's quite long. I was going to say 5 years ago, but really it's about 8, 9 years ago. I was going to say the races between City and Liverpool, those sorts of games with the goal line clearances and the posts and the crazy thrillers. It reminded me a little bit of that. So that's what I'll say about the game itself. Ryan Cherokee, what can we say? Incredible goal. Incredible player, man. I mean, he went through that weird, like, mandatory gestation period that City players go through where Pep, like, plays them, then suddenly decides, you know what, you're going to sit on the bench for 2 months. But since he's been back, he's been very strong. I mean, top assister in the league. Yeah, like you said, it was a lot there. Havertz missing in the 95th minute. Did you see that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, as they hitting the post was crazy as well. If that ball went like a couple centimeters to the right, that would have been, I think that would have been over because I don't know if Arsenal would have relinquished the lead at that point. But
Dude, and I have to say, this isn't to sound like a Havertz hater, obviously he left from Chelsea, but I know he scored, a weird goal before that, but you just have to score that, man. That's the type of one, I'm sorry, that's the type of goal where, regardless of whether it's your starting striker, a backup striker, that's the type of one that it's got to get buried, right? It's
I mean, at least get it on target, I think. Like, get it on
yeah, on
target,
target,
force
yeah.
Donnarumma to make a save, which, to be fair, Donnarumma made some pretty good saves in the game, notably another one on Havertz, actually, earlier in the match. But you need to get that on target in the 95th minute and a free header, like, no one was even contesting
Free
that.
header wasn't
Uh,
marked.
it was, I mean, some people would say that he did well getting into that position, and I do partly agree, but you need to put that on target for sure. And so, Where does that leave Arsenal? I mean, I don't think it's over by any means. Like obviously it's funny to kind of make fun of Arsenal for potentially
Dude, it's
relinquishing a 12
phenomenal.
point lead and you know, coming second for the fourth year in a row, but I don't think it's over. I do think that City has a difficult schedule. Obviously they can win all five of their remaining games, but they are going away to Everton. Like there are some potential banana peel games. But I do think that if both teams win all five games, I can't really look past City. I think City are gonna just turn on their scoring prowess that they've been known for the past 10 years under Pep. Obviously, Arsenal have been known to score goals in the last few seasons, a bit less this season, so I'm not sure if they can make that switch with just a few games to go. And of course, like, you know, we're talking about the schedule, but each game is a game of its own, right? Like if you looked at Arsenal Bournemouth on the schedule, that game would have seemed really easy for Arsenal getting 3 points in and they didn't, right? So how much is this because it is definitely a hit to their morale, how much is it going to affect their games going forward? Considering the fact that Arsenal also have a Champions League semi-final to contend with in a couple weeks.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's a very I'm just gonna be honest. I think that's an apt analysis. I think it's kind. I think I've said the nice stuff about Arsenal. I think in this video, like I kind of want to get into it, man. I know I've been pulling back the slingshot the last like 6 months, but the first things first that I want to say is when we did our mid-season prediction. I said they're going to choke the title, and Men said you're going to win it. I wish I could go and clip that because I remember distinctly saying that. And there were moments where I had some doubts, man. But to jump straight into it, yes, like obviously the political answer is it's still anyone's league. You know, there's 5 games left. It can go anywhere. There's some banana peels, as you say. And if I just look at the fixtures, though, I think City's fixtures are more favorable. Obviously, Arsenal also have the Champions League, as you mentioned. But it just has to be said at this point in time, man, I give Arsenal less than a 15% chance of winning the league. I'm just gonna say it. I think it's really that bad. I think this is honestly horrific. The morale, the question of where do they go from here? Well, apparently setting fires on your pitch or whatever to motivate people clearly doesn't work, you know, as we've seen with some of these other light bulb tactics and whatnot. But I feel rude going in on them, man, but this is the fourth year, man. This isn't like they've come and crashed. Well, let's say actually I won't count last year. Last year doesn't count. You know, Liverpool ran away with the league. There's 3 other seasons where they've just choked. And this one, yes, they could still win it. I think they have to, bro. For the mental health of the club, the mental health of the fans, the mental health of the players. I think if they fumble it at this point, I think you got to start from zero, honestly. Not with the
Yeah.
players, but I think you got to look at changing the manager. I think it's a massive deal.
I think you need to change the manager if they don't get over the line this year. Unfortunately, as much as I think Arteta does get a lot of hate, I think he's done a great job at Arsenal. But at the end of the day, you're judged
He's
on
developed
the
them a lot.
results, right? And so he might be the manager. You know, it's a bit like a manager that took you to that level, but then you maybe need the guy that brings you the victory. You know, so we'll
He's
see.
like a Pochettino, man. Has to be
Yeah,
said. He's kind of
exactly.
like a, shades of Poch.
He's a bit like a fluffer, you know, and then in the main act you have someone else. But the thing is, look, I think it's still anyone's game. Obviously, I would say City is favorite. So I would say like for me it's like a 70-30 situation right now. But I don't know, man. I mean, it's I think the meltdown would be epic and kind of fun to see in some ways of
Dude,
the Arsenal fans, but I just don't know what Arteta is thinking sometimes. Like I feel like he's overthinking things a bit too much. Like he's definitely like this whole like
100%.
TikTok video stuff and like music, AI music and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
I just don't get what his the thing is, this kind of stuff, like it looks like a genius when it works, you know. Like I think Phil Jackson, the former coach of the Lakers and the Bulls, did like a lot of weird shit, right? But it worked and he won, and so like no one like gave him
But
shit for it. But if you don't
it's
win, then it just seems weird. And so for me,
it's a great comparison,
I don't
but
know, man.
offensive to Phil. Offensive to
No,
Phil's
of course. But I'm just
legacy.
saying, in gen like these
But
things are fine
no,
if
no,
they
you're right.
work,
You
but
know,
not
like
if they
the yeah,
don't. So the thing is.
the shamans and the Native American rituals. I totally
Yeah, yeah,
agree.
exactly, right? Things that you'd be like, what the hell is this? And maybe he would be doing like AI songs as well if he were coaching in 2026. I don't know, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, for sure, what I could say is that I think as a Chelsea fan, it is a good way for you to distract
To
yourself from
bask.
your
Yeah.
from your
And I'll
team's
say
current
that
woes with Arsenal and Tottenham's current states.
I said that to Pablo before we started, guys. I said I saw a funny reel about, when you've accepted that your season's already over, so you just hate watch Arsenal and Tottenham games instead for the pleasure of it. And I'm not gonna lie, that's definitely a factor. I've taken shots at Arsenal. Obviously, they're a rival of ours, and I am basking a little bit in this thing. But it has to be said, man. I watched some like pretty famous within, like the football commentary circle, Arsenal YouTubers and social media people. And a lot of them now are starting to they were starting to pull the victim card when they lost to Bournemouth already. And now with City even more saying like, why does everyone hate us so much? They'd rather see this team like City, win the league. What is it, like 8 out of the last 10 times or whatever ridiculous record it is, 7 of the last 10.
Something like that, yeah.
And the thing is, that's a valid point, but you know what it is? It's an amalgamation of things. It's not just Arsenal as a football club is the thing. I think they're thinking that this is like, oh, if anyone else was in this position, they'd be fine with it. It's because it's Arsenal. No, it's not that. It's because the Arsenal fans, everyone's seen them on social media doing blasphemous things. And obviously, this might be a minority of them saying things like this, but comparing players like Bukayo Saka to like Pele saying, oh, he rinses Pele in his prime, or oh, he slots himself into like X starting 11. That stuff already is going to piss people off, man. But if on top of it, and this is the more serious commentary, if on top of the way that like some of the fans have acted, like they're entitled to greatness, really. Like that's one thing about City is City fans, I don't think they've ever acted with the same entitlement. Not to just keep taking shots at Arsenal fans, but the real conversation is, you know what? If you're gonna win the league playing this, in my opinion, sort of repulsive style of football, like just full transparency, repulsive relative to what Arsenal's always taken pride in. Like the Wenger teams always took pride in playing this honestly phenomenal style of football, beautiful football, arguably the best, you know, style, individual style that we had in the Premier League. If you're going to give that up, play this tough defense, this which is great, and then these rely on these goals from headers off of fouling the goalkeeper on corner kicks. If you're going to do that, don't act the way you are. And if you're going to do that and not win the league, honestly, it's just karmic. Anyways, it's a
Yeah,
bit of a
yeah.
rant,
No,
but
that's
that's
the
my
thing.
that's my
No,
opinion on
I
it,
agree. Like for me, obviously, like football, it's nice if your team plays well. I don't really care too much. I prefer my team to win than to play
which
well.
is fair. But
The thing
own
is,
that, don't act like
yeah,
it's
if you
yeah.
play bad, then but you need to win, like you change your style completely, and now they're at a point where they're struggling. I'm gonna be honest as well, as a non-Premier League follower, like I follow it a little bit, but not like in the nitty-gritty. I would prefer Arsenal to win than City, just because it's a different thing.
That's
They
fair,
haven't
yeah.
won the league in like 22 years. I don't know. I don't like it when a league is won constantly by the same team. Like it was the same in Germany. I was quite happy when Leverkusen won. But it is pretty funny to see the fans online kind of going down this meltdown path and trying to like justify it and yeah, the victim card a little bit. I mean, I don't know. I do think there is a bit more scrutiny on Arsenal fans than other fans, but they bring it upon themselves in some way, right? So
Yeah,
it's not just out of nowhere. The thing is with City, I think a lot of English fans don't really care if they win or not because they kind of see it as a bit of a fake club anyway. So they're like, yeah, like
that's
if they
true.
win, it's fine, but it's not like the biggest issue. But and also they don't have such a strong online presence compared to Arsenal, right? Like Arsenal has a big fan channel. They've got a lot of prominent YouTubers. City, I mean, they've got Boovie, they've got that like the bald guy, I forgot his name, like Steve or something like that. But they don't really have that big of a legacy because, they don't have that much history as a club, so people didn't grow up supporting them as much probably. But the thing is, we'll see how it goes. I mean, these last few games will definitely be interesting, and we'll have to see. I mean, as a Chelsea fan, I'm sure it'll be hate watching the remainder of Arsenal's
We
games.
kind of have to do that. Our season's a wrap and it's been disastrous. And that could be
But
a whole other
let's
video that
talk.
I won't get
Let's
into,
maybe move
but
on to another club that you
no,
might be
no,
hate watching for the last couple of games. It
they're
looks
getting off
honestly
easy.
at this point, it
Yeah,
looks like Tottenham Hotspur might
are
be
going
going
down.
down. Like
I think they are, dude.
it seems
Like it
for
was
me
like a
like
meme at
a
first,
80%
but
chance at this point that they're going down just because
I mean,
that
yeah.
that 95th minute equalizer they conceded against Brighton for me was really like a big moment. Like if you want to stay up, you need to be winning games like this. Like it doesn't matter how, you just need to find a way. And their schedule is quite difficult. They're even playing Chelsea in the second to last game, which could be a game that potentially seals the deal in a negative way. But what do you think as a Chelsea fan? Like, how do you think about
Dude,
one of your biggest rivals very possibly going down to the second division?
this is a bad season for, well, not bad, Arsenal. We don't know what'll happen, of course, but it's a grim outlook it was not a good weekend for the London clubs this past weekend. Let's just say that. Um, Spurs, man, it's hard, because obviously Spurs are one of our biggest rivals. I'd say them, and I'd consider them and Arsenal our two biggest rivals. Which one you consider more of a rival kind of depends on the Chelsea fan. Um, but Spurs, bro, I mean, as much as like objectively it is kind of hilarious that they're probably going to go down at the same time. Like let's be, I know you're laughing. I'm not trying to take shots at them. I'm not trying to have this be like a shot in Freude thing, but all of this considered, bro, like I just it's a crazy transition considering, Daniel Levy, kind of relinquished this stranglehold he had. But they've also invested so much money. They have the nicest stadium, honestly, the nicest stadium in all of the UK.
Hmm.
And they've put like decent investments, probably, not as much as some other clubs, but I don't know, man. Them going down, it just they don't have a worse team than West Ham, Leeds, Nottingham Forest. Like I don't know. It's just crazy
That's
to
the
think
thing. Like
about.
their squad isn't even that bad. Like all jokes aside, obviously, like maybe they haven't invested the money as well as they should have. But they have players like Kolo Muani, who recently as 2022, was
Yeah,
in the World Cup final. Javi Simmons, who just like was like a 70 million euro player a few years ago.
yeah.
Vicario, who 2 seasons ago was amazing, now has become terrible. Mickey Van de Ven, he's gonna go to probably Barcelona at the end of the season. Like this, in my opinion, would be by far the best team to go down in the Premier League, and one of the best
You
teams to go
think?
down ever. Because I mean, when I think of like amazing
Arguably
teams to
Aston
go
Villa, man.
down,
Aston Villa
that's
won a
true.
Champions League,
But
but
like no, but
yeah.
worse
But they're
squad.
a
Like I
permanent
think,
six. You're right. They're a permanent
yeah,
six
but
as well.
also
They'll
like
be
the
the
big
first of the permanent
six,
six.
that like I don't really care about that so
No, but
much.
I'm
Like I
not
think,
saying about the big six. I'm saying they're literally, this isn't even about the big six. This is about the permanent six, the six teams that have never gone down in the Premier League. I think there's
yeah, but
six.
I think they have a better squad than Villa. Like when Villa went down in 2015, their squad was it was kind of aging, and some of the players weren't. But like Spurs' squad is good, man. Like they have a decent squad, and so it'd be crazy. I mean, when you think of these kind of excellent relegations, I think of Villarreal in 2012, who went down with like a great team after I think making the Champions League the year before. Also, Sampdoria in 2011 went down after becoming fourth the year before. So I don't know. Like it would definitely be, in my opinion, the best team to go down in the Premier League, at least in the last 33 years since the Premier League started. I don't really know, like Division
I
One,
would
what it was
agree.
called before that. Like I don't really
That
know. Like
Leicester team, no, that went back down. No, this Spurs team's better. I
yeah,
agree.
for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, the thing is, it's a team that 2 years ago came fifth. Like they're
Bro,
not
they won
they
Europa
won the
League
Europa
last year.
League
Granted,
last
they
year.
finished 17th, but
Yeah,
I think they are gonna go down, dude. Like they're banking on West Ham, which
I
is
mean
like fair.
they're
West Ham
still
have
pretty
been
close to
terrible,
West
but
Ham though. I think it was like 2 points away. So I
yeah,
think
they're 2 points away.
yeah, they could still make it out. I mean they're playing
I
Wolves
mean,
at home, but
let's look at the fixtures. Yeah.
it's tough. I mean I think it's definitely a difficult one. But that would be a crazy outcome as a as a Chelsea fan to see Arsenal lose the league after being like
They
12
Dude,
points
after
up.
being on for a quadruple,
Yeah, I
this whole
mean,
quadruple nonsense is also why I just have zero sympathy for
yeah, but
them.
no
But
one
if
really said that seriously. I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't.
Dude, I
Maybe I'm
think they
not on
did,
social
man, and they were
media
all
enough,
like,
but
"Oh, they were serious about it." Maybe not as much the Champions League, but like, I think though, dude, I don't even know if they're gonna win against Atletico. Has to be said. I like, I don't know if they're
I
gonna
mean, they
win
might
against
not,
Atletico.
honestly. Like Atletico, they have a
Uh,
good team, man. They beat Barcelona. I mean, and either
but
way, I don't see Arsenal winning the final, irrespective of who they face between
but you're
Bayern and
right. I
PSG.
mean, This weekend is a must win, unironically, a real six pointer, as they say, for Spurs. I'm looking at this. They're playing against Wolves, and West Ham and Everton are playing each other. I don't even know what the best result for them there is if those two teams
Wait, but Everton
go.
are
Oh,
oh
sorry. I'm confusing. Yeah. No, but you're right. Yeah. I forgot that Everton is for
Everton
some
might
reason my
come
mind has
thick.
been, dude, they're doing well, man. It's they need West Ham to lose that game, which they probably will. I think Everton's playing at home, so that's a really tough fixture. Yeah.
We'll see how it goes, but yeah, I mean, I think there's some interesting fixtures coming up, so we'll have to see how it shakes out. But it's definitely Arsenal's title hopes have been dealt a significant blow. So
I don't think they're gonna win the Premier League, man. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna happen. It could still happen, but to fumble a 9 point lead is actually just so unfathomably bad. I
yeah, I
think
mean, it
players
was never
also, we
like
didn't even get into this, dude, but I think players are going to leave as well. I was saying this to my coworker yesterday. I think it's going to get to the point where not only they reconsider the manager, but I think you have these big guys like, maybe a Saliba who have had Real Madrid knocking on their door or another like
yeah.
big non-Premier League club. I think some of those guys, bro, they're going to be tired, like mentally exhausted from this challenge, the continuous failure so many seasons in a row.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it's
just
gonna
need
be
to
tough.
change some of them as well. So I definitely think that some players will start to look around. I mean, maybe some players will also need to leave for the good of the club, you know. So we'll have to see what happens if they end up coming second for the fourth year running. But yeah, just a little update from us. It's been a while, but there's been a lot cooking for the future as well. Getting a lot of
Yeah.
great content ready for the upcoming World Cup. And yeah, but let us know what you think in the comments. Do you think Arsenal has what it takes to make it across the finish line and win their first Premier League in 22 years? Or do you think it's going to be another year of second place? Either way, I think it'll be interesting. But I'd love to see AFTV's video feed if they do come second in the end. But yeah, thanks for watching.
Thank you guys.